Hey guys, it's Libby, and this month, surprise, I bought some books. Now last month, if you were paying very close attention, you will know I did not do a book haul. That's because I bought no books in October. So this month I fixed that by buying 11. I believe the count is 11. And I also want to apologize to Abby, who I met at YALLFest and told me that she watches my hauls and then has to go buy a bunch of books. On the one hand, I'm sorry. On the other hand, I will not stop this siren song. So let's start out with the books that I got at YALLFest. I was mainly just finishing series that I didn't own the complete set of. So at Blue Bicycle Books, which is one of the many home bases of YALLFest in Charleston, I got the rest of the books that I was missing in the series of Unfortunate Events. They are The Wide Window, book number 3, and The Hostile Hospital, book number 8. And I actually got these used, so they were cheap, and let's see, yeah, this one, Hostile Hospital, actually belonged to someone else, Matt Reams, and there's a phone number in here. I'm not going to show it, but should I call him? Would that be weird? I kind of want to say, hi, Matt, it's me. You don't know me, but I have your book now. It's in a loving home. Would that be super weird? Yes. And then not officially as part of YALLFest, but during the YALLFest weekends, my mom and I stopped at the Barnes & Noble that was across from our hotel and got some more books. This is Cress by Marissa Meyer. They didn't have a hardcover copy of Scarlet, and since I had Cinder in hardcover, I want to have them all in hardcover so it'll be nice and matchy. So I have book 3 and book 1, but not book 2. So I'm not going to be able to continue with this series for a bit, but I did get it signed by Marissa. And my mom actually bought this for me as well as the other book that I got at the bookstore, which was Ruin and Rising, the last book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. On the one hand, she bought them for me. However, she then took Ruin and Rising and Siege and Storm, which I had actually started reading, and went to go finish the Grisha trilogy herself. So is that book really mine? I feel like it's not mine right now. And then there was the Book Outlet. Oh, Book Outlet, destroyer of book buying bans. I had planned on doing an unboxing, but it arrived and I just wanted to open it then. So screw you guys. You don't get to see me open the box on camera. I already did it. I will show you the books though. So these are in reverse alphabetical order by author because that's how they're stacked right now. First, I got some more Catherine M. Valentes for the inevitable binge. This is The Girl Who Soared Over Fairyland and Cut the Moon in Two, which is book 3 in her Fairyland series. And then I have Deathless, the first book in the Leningrad diptych. This has a hair on it. This is, I think, kind of like the Grisha trilogy in that it's set in not Russia. This is sort of early 20th century, I believe. And it's about the mythological figure of Koschei. Did I say that right? No. Who is a sort of god of death, Krampus-like figure in Russia, I believe. And fun fact, Koschei, whatever it is also the name of the Master in Doctor Who, for those of you who are big Doctor Who nerds. So that means I have already brain cast him as Anthony Ainley, or possibly Derek Jacobi if he's more of a dapper gentleman. Although Anthony Ainley, pretty dapper. Next, we have How to Tell Toledo from the Night Sky by Lydia Netzer. This is not the sort of book that I would normally have picked up. It's contemporary, and it has like a fun cover. Most of my books have depressing covers. But I heard about this on the Book Riot podcast, links below if you're interested in listening to that. And it has like the best premise I've ever heard of. So there's these two women who are very good friends. It's kind of like the musical The Fantastics, if you are familiar with that. And they're such good friends that they want their children to fall in love. So they like very creepily plan out everything so that their children are born on the same day, and then they raise them separately and do things like teach them this nursery rhyme that isn't a real nursery rhyme but they made up so that when they grow up they will meet and then they'll be like, oh, you know this nursery rhyme that nobody else knows. Clearly this is a sign that we were meant to be together. And so then it's mainly about these two people. Their names are Irene and Brian. It's not it. George. Irene and George. Well, they do meet, and it's mainly about that. Like, can you have an actual relationship with someone when you're basically just set up by your mom from birth? And then here I have The Half-Made World by Felix Gilman. This is the beginning of a series which I believe is just called The Half-Made World. And this is also quite a departure from my usual ilk. This is a Western. I don't think I have ever read a Western in my entire life, although this is a sort of steampunky, magically realistic, is that how you say magical realism? Magical realism-y version of the West. So 30 years ago, the West was sort of brought to order by the Red Republic, but now it is a lawless place where there are some like creepy, mostly political, but I think also mildly religious factions called the Line and the Gun, who are fighting over this land and mainly just making things crappy for all of the people who live there. But there is this old general from the Red Republic who has some secret locked away in his brain because now he's gone crazy and senile. And so people are trying to find out what it is he knows so that they can either prevent the Red Republic from ever rising again or bring it back stronger than ever. I think I found this because I was just looking through a bunch of steampunk book recommendations on Goodreads. Like, I go to the Goodreads Listopia and just type in steampunk, and then it's like, gives you a whole bunch of different steampunk lists. And I basically looked through every book, and this is the one that I decided sounded best. And then we have Untold by Sarah Rees Brennan. This is the sequel to Unmade and the second book in the Lynn Byrne Legacy trilogy. No, wait, Unmade is the third book. Unspoken is the first book. I apologize. I have not read Unspoken yet, but I have read a short story by Sarah Rees Brennan, which I thought was really good and really interesting, and the end was different than I think most writers would have done it, and I appreciated that. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I will link it down there. It'll take you like 10 minutes to read, and it's very nice. And then finally, oh boy, the book is The Ship of Theseus, but the experience is S. This is a book that is not by V.M. Straka. V.M. Straka is a fictional character. It is instead by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. And it is designed to look like an old sort of library binding book that you might find in the stacks at your college library. But it's covered with notes by two people who are reading the book and using it to talk to each other. And then they put things in the books for each other that are just sort of folded into the pages. So here's a telegram. Here's a map drawn on a napkin. You have to be careful not to drop this or everything might fall out. Here's a postcard from Brazil, and it's like written on and stuff. And this seems very, very cool. It makes me nostalgic for my college days. I believe that the two people who are writing to each other are, I think they're both English majors. At least one of them is an English major. And so there's some mega nerdiness going on in these notes. So there's my haul, an interesting mix. I don't think I'm going to get started on any of the ones that I showed you immediately because I'm reading Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett. I'm reading a Terry Pratchett book, you guys. I'm being so good. And then I want to finish off the Grisha trilogy and the Lunar Chronicles. But I don't know. S is very tempting. I may just sort of accidentally start it. Anyway, I hope I have tempted you into buying more books, and I will see you again with more temptation soon. Ooh, also one quick addendum. My 1-year booktube-versary is coming up on December 1st. That was when I posted my first video. What was it? I think it was a TBR for the Booktubeathon? The Christmas Booktubeathon? Maybe? I don't know. Let's not go watch it. And to celebrate, I will be doing a live stream Q&A on either Friday night or Saturday night. That's Friday, December 4th or Saturday, December 5th. It would probably be starting between 4 and 6 Eastern time. So feel free to leave a comment below expressing your opinion on what night you would prefer it to be on. Friday is less busy for me, but I know on Saturday it'll be easier to hit all of the various time zones from Western Europe to the Pacific Coast. And I'm not really sure where all of you guys are. Also, sorry to people in Australia, I have no idea what time is going to be for you. You can also leave a question in the comments or send it to me on Twitter. I'm at Talibinator. What, Libby? You have such a sophisticated Twitter handle. Why, yes, thank you, I do. You can use that to ask a question if you won't be able to make it to the actual live stream, or if you aren't sure if you'll be able to make it and you just don't want to forget. And then you can watch the replay and see what my response is later. The questions don't have to be book related. I'll talk about anything. Not quite anything. I'll talk about a lot of things. Anyway, cue the outro.